Hi there everyone, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me again today for another card making tutorial. So on Fridays now I am doing a post that is my card to enter my friends and teammates colour challenge blog. So creative colour challenges, links in the description. So run by Vicky. So she posts on a Monday a fresh challenge, and by the time I get round to making something, it gets to Friday. So this is my entry for this week. Blackberry Bliss, Flirty Flamingo and Cherry Cobbler are the colours that she selected for people to use this time around. Quite an interesting little mix here because I would say these two colours go together quite well. You know, these ones are okay, but the three together, interesting. But Vicky's inspiration card on the blog is divine, and she's used some die cuts and things. My card is this one, okay. So Blackberry Bliss in the background, sentiments and stuff, and then I've used the Flirty Flamingo and Cherry Cobbler to create the backdrop there. The stamp set I used was Artistically Inked, which is a stamp set that I was drawn to immediately in the annual catalogue, but haven't really used that much. So that's the stamp set. It's a cling stamp, cling stamp. So we're going to make this again with a couple of variations, okay, and we're going to start with a Flirty Flamingo card base instead of the Blackberry Bliss, and use the Blackberry Bliss as the mat, so we're sort of inverting the base and the mats there, okay. Already cut my white panel for stamping on, and then I've got a little 1/2 inch strip there for the sentiment. So on this card, the background, the large Flirty Flamingo background, was done with this stylized flower. I'm going to try and do it with this image instead this time, just for a different look. So what I'm going to do is bring in my scrap paper that I used. I should tell you the measurements of this, shouldn't I? This is, I think it's 3.5 by 5.25. Yep, 3.5 by 5.25 for the mat. So I've just cut this basic white 1/8 of an inch smaller. Still going to use my Flirty Flamingo to create the background, as it's the lighter of the colours. And so I've just mounted that that sort of splodgy stamp onto. This is an H block, which is just about big enough. So I'm just going to make sure that's well inked. It is a distinctive stamp, so when you look to see whether it's inked or not, it's going to look a bit peculiar. I don't know whether the light is catching that, but it just sort of looks like it's a bit blotchy, and that's exactly how it should be. So let's plonk that about there. It's a technical term, plonking. Okay, isn't that lovely? Look at all the texture you get in that. That's come out really nice. So the distinctive stamps, personally I find the cling rubber ones are more effective, and I find they work best with a not overly wet ink pad. So if your ink's a little ink pad a little bit on the drier side, I think you don't get much better results. So I just overlapped that slightly, but because of the way the stamp is designed, you can't really tell, so you get that lovely image there. And what I might do is just put a little bit extra just over those edges, just to take it out to the edge there. There we go. That's cool, right? Cool. Okay, let's put that to one side. And then, instead of Cherry Cobbler for the small flowers, I'm going to use the Blackberry Bliss. So I've got those just there. That's one stamp that stamps all 3 flowers at once. So this is just, now this Blackberry Bliss ink pad is really dry. So it comes out a little bit on the pale side, but actually I'm not minding that. But it's very tonally different to the Cherry Cobbler and the Flirty Flamingo. So I was kind of surprised it worked at all, really. Because it's a very cool colour. Whereas the other ones are quite warm. So there we go. So that's how that looks. And I always find when you're doing a card like this, it always looks a bit, ooh, not sure. Until you actually kind of put it together. And somehow or other it just seems to work out. So Cherry Cobbler is the only colour we haven't used yet. Okay. So the primary use for that is going to be for the sentiment on this little teeny tiny strip that we've got here. Which I'm just going to line up on this grid paper. And get that inked up. Lots of light tapping, get a nice even coat, and then try and get your head right over the top of your stamp and line that up. So I already know that this is lined up on my block because I've already done it on my sample, which I used my grid paper for. So we're just going to do that and lift up. Oh, that's stamped beautifully. That's lovely. Okay. So, I'm just going to leave that ink pad there for a sec, grab my snips, and I'm just going to trim the ends of that, like so. If you want your ends to be exactly the same angle, move your little bit that you cut off along to the other end, then use that as sort of a cutting template. Then you get, ooh, whoops, that's a bit close. Then you get the exact same angle. Okay, so if that's something you want to do, that's another little tip for you there. So now you see what I want to do is gauge whether I want any of those additional little splodges in the background in the Cherry Cobbler. So I'm just going to dry build this as I do. Pop that on. And I think, yeah, maybe just a few of those would be good. Kind of in and around where I'm going to put this. Somewhere around there. Oh, can't pick it up. So just a few here and there. It's really, really subtle, but you'd be surprised how much of a difference it kind of makes. I just realised I'm stamping that over the back of the card. Don't want to make a mess of it. There we go. And I've just taken it out a bit into the white just so that they are a little bit more obvious. Maybe just put a little one up there as well. Yep, cool. So there we go, stamping done. It's almost a bit like, it's kind of like the one sheet wonder technique that is popular with some of my demo friends. So all there is to do is put it together. This is really simple. I haven't even used any embellishments, no ribbon, no nothing. It's just cardstock and ink, and stamps of course. Okay, no dies or punches, just ink, stamps and paper. In fact, I might actually hashtag that because it's one of the Stampin' Up sort of mantras, ink stamp paper. They call it simple stamping. Just using those core products to create beautiful things. Nice sharp crease on the top. I'm liking the Flirty Flamingo background. on this. Really does freshen up that design, but each to their own. I really love Blackberry Bliss. It is one of my favourite colours. Just not necessarily in this combination. But isn't it surprising how when you've got this challenge to use some colours and put them together, what you can come up with. So, okay, there we go. Ink stamps and paper to make nice pretty cards using those 3 colours in the colour challenge. Okay, links in the description to what I've used. Check out the blog, and if you want to participate, Vicky would love to have you join in. And she announces the winners on a Sunday. It's just for fun, but she does pick a winner. Okay, thanks ever so much, everybody. Take care. See you soon. Bye.